So what I want us to do is to start becoming more conscious, start choosing things in a better way for ourselves, and start creating a life that's going to gear us to really take advantage of the opportunities that are going to show up for us in the years to come.
This podcast is brought to you by The Integrated Human. We work up, down, inside out to plug yourself into your potential. If you want to see what we are up to and what's next, sign up to our newsletter or follow us on social media. If you like what we are doing, we really appreciate it if you can like our post on social media and YouTube and help us grow.
All right, welcome to the Big and Small Podcast. I'm Jason Shields, and I'm the big one.
And I'm Mike Carlson, and I'm the small one.
No, you're tiny.
Yeah.
I was like, we hit that so many times in a row. We never made a mistake.
No. You made a mistake.
No.
Yes.
When?
And no, you don't think you say the big one.
Big and small.
Yeah, but I don't think you say.
I'm the huge one.
And
No, I'm the
maybe
big one.
you do.
Yeah, I do.
Because I got thrown out with it. Anyways. We get to number 119 before it happened.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch the intros too and all the other ones to
Yeah.
see. I think you threw me off.
We'll see.
We'll see. Well, I'm the tiny one.
Yeah.
Then it should be the big and tiny podcast.
Yeah, but no, but that's,
Yeah,
I think
that
the
makes
whole
sense.
tiny is cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Welcome. It's a good day.
Good, and all listeners, welcome.
Yes.
If you like that intro, give us 5-star on Spotify. Thank you
Yeah,
very
that's
much.
right. Like and subscribe.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway.
Now we did the commercial marketing. We have to. Thank God.
Yes.
We're done. Now we can continue.
Sweat.
Oh, we don't like that part. We don't like that part at all.
No.
But actually, seriously, please give us a 5-star rating on Spotify.
Yeah,
and you
that'd
don't
be
think
great.
it's a 5-star, don't do it.
Yeah.
It is a 5-star.
Yes.
Yes, I'm saying it is.
Well, I had to stop laughing before we started.
Jason
so
was
I did
having
throw her off.
yeah, you did. You were doing he was singing a song from the 70s.
Yes, the Electric Boogaloo.
I still don't think it's real.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, it's always interesting what comes up before we're going to have a podcast episode. Right now, Jason started having the podcast episode before we recorded. So I had to stop him and say, let's do that in the podcast.
Marta straight up parked me.
I
She's
parked
like,
you.
Stop. Because I was giggling for myself. Because I was kind of on a little bit of a philosophical rant in my head. And it ended up a person walking into heaven's gates, and there's just that disapproving cat from the internet that just like super disapproving.
Disapproving cat?
Yeah,
I haven't
there's
seen
like
that one.
it's like a meme. There's like this cat that's super disapproving. I mean, his face just looks like he's just disappointed in you. You know,
Like every cat ever.
like every cat ever, but this one's like, wow, that's disappointed.
Okay.
And imagine just like your whole life is spent, and then you did your best, and then you walk in and you just get the disappointed cat. It's like my life ends with a meme.
So how did we end up in Heaven's Gates?
Well, this is the thing, right? Because we had a great event. The Flow State event was insane.
It was actually quite insane.
Yeah.
We have to say something cool, because if you're next to you there, Jason,
Yeah.
I think you can lift it.
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
Steve will punish us for it. We are so lucky. There you go. We are now a part of Heart Math Institute Science Project.
Yep. And I recommend that you guys, if you have any kind
There
of...
you go. Global Consciousness Project 2.0
Yeah.
from the Heart Math Institute.
Yes.
So if you look on YouTube, you will see the video and you see the thingy we have there. It's a something generator.
Yeah, it's a random number generator.
Yes, that's the thing.
Which has been proven. It was first used at the University of Stanford. And then now HeartMath has basically been given the research and continuing the research that's been done over the last 20 or 30 years.
Yeah, I think they started I think it's 30, because I think HeartMath started in 90s, because I always connect it to my day of birth.
Oh, nice.
Which is in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Has nothing to do with that. But it's in the 90s they started it.
Yeah, that's when HeartMath started it, and I think that the people at Stanford was even before that. It was like in the 70s. And that's why Electric Boogaloo, right?
Exactly.
So they started following a correlation between events like people meditating together, terrorist attacks, wars, all kinds of things.
The Olympics.
The Olympics, for example, in relationship to the random number generator. And it turned out that when there's more people coming together, there's more harmonious activity, there's more positive charge on people, especially in large groups, you get a change in the randomness. You basically get more coherence. It becomes more harmonious, that the numbers aren't as random. And there's a whole bunch of science behind this. I know some of my science geeks going to be like, what in the world
We
are
take
you
Steve
talking
on
about?
a podcast for that.
Yeah, we can take that. But I was reading through the research yesterday with Steve. And it turns out that there's something called a 7 sigma event. 7 sigma event. So let me roll this back for a second and share this insanely cool thing with you. So we had the flow state, and
which we, for people listening, that's our deep dive event. That's where we do a lot of inner work and meditation. And this one, we had a 4-day event.
Exactly.
We had 10 to 12 hours of meditation over 2 full days and 2 half days.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there's a lot of deep diving and coherence, and basically we had the theme of emotional work and self-work, how to use your emotions to start manifesting your life that you want, right? And we'll come back to that in a minute, why that's so important to be able to work with your emotions. But we did these deep dive meditations, both breath work and moksha meditation. We did heart-centered breathing, all different kinds of things in order to help people access the tools that they actually have to regulate their nervous systems and change their mind to change their lives. So we pulled up the numbers during the event, and not only was there an increase, a massive increase in coherence.
Yeah, we went from normal to high.
Yeah, from normal to high. But there was actually the peak during the middle of the event where the highest measured coherence since the beginning of this apparatus, since it got plugged in until basically after the event, was measured in the middle of our event, which means that there's proof of a few things. Number one, that how you feel what you do and how you think
affects your environment.
It matters. Yes, it absolutely affects the environment. And if you're with a group of people who are also lifting their level, you have a bigger and bigger coherence effect on your environment. And Maharishi Mahesh Yogi in the TM movement had the super radiance effect, where they were saying that if you give 1% of the population meditation techniques, that you'll see a drop in crime. And if you get the advanced meditators, it's a square root of 1%. And they did these big experiments in Washington, D.C., which at that time was the murder capital of America. I think there was a murder every 5 minutes. Like, it's insane. And you just saw the numbers drop like crazy. So 7 sigma means statistically that it is a 1 in 1 trillion chance that our meditation effect on this apparatus was coincidence. 1 in 1 trillion. That means that you have a 7 times larger chance of winning the lottery than creating that effect during a meditation event. And guess what? We did it. That's it. So the question is, does it work? Yes. Absolutely, positively. So you can learn real meditation. That's
also the thing that is really interesting with it, because you can say, yeah, but that was meditation. We also saw, because we get kind of the monthly report, that in Voss is a really, really sports enthusiastic town.
And winning town.
If it was a country, it would be very high up in the statistics. You either are related to one, or know one, or work with one that is Olympic champion. Yeah. It's just how it is. You joke with it, but if you throw a rock out there, you're going to hit someone that with a gold medal, or at least a medal in the Olympics. And Voss also actually got a new one this Olympics in skiing. And during the Olympics, there was a high of coherence in Voss, and during our meditation event, or flow state event, we do more than meditation.
So the whole country coming together for the Olympics,
or just the town in general,
focused, right? And then focused, especially in a town where there is a lot of winning going on, was actually not as high of a peak. It was a very
but that was the two peaks that kind of you could see over the month was the Olympics, and it was our event.
Yes,
which is really, really cool, and it was really fun because me and C was sitting and watching it live, because you can also watch it live.
Yeah,
and she was just kind of starting to jump because it was just really fascinating, because she started talking about it was elevated. And then Jason started talking about dead kittens, and it dropped.
Yeah.
Because everybody could feel the dead kittens, and it was horrific. And then you continued the conversation, and you talked about being blessed. And then you could see that it just went from normal to elevated to high to, and then two of the participants came up to share what has happened to them in their work, and it went to extreme.
During the momentum coaching group,
it went to extreme.
Yeah.
So when they heartfelt shared, when people could connect and feel what they were saying and what you were saying, the coherence went up.
Yes.
And that was really fascinating to watch.
Yeah.
So you could really see on the generator kind of the subject that was
being taken up.
Being taken
and the
up.
effect of it.
What it had to, that's why it was really cool, because you often say when you walk into a room, that didn't feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
or it feels like something went on.
Something's off. Well, maybe they just talked about dead kittens.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you go into a room and it feels really good, all has had that. If you believe in it or not, you have had this experience.
Yeah.
It feels good to be there. Well, maybe then they just talked about being blessed, for instance, and you walk in and the people that are connected with that. So it was really, really interesting. So we had an amazing weekend, and I'm really happy people are already... We almost sold out for the next one already, even so we haven't gone out. Friends, so we are putting out the dates now for everyone else to sign up. Yeah. We have a few spots left. It's in September. Mm-hmm. If you want to partake in our coherence, you're more than welcome to join.
Yep.
So that was the weekend, but we were sitting here and kind of coming back off the weekend, and Jason was having this... He was having a lot of facial expression and going through some philosophical... thoughts that ended up in his giggling and the disappointed cat. So back to that story.
Yeah, but it was a powerful theme, because you have to be able to manage your emotions in some way or other in order to get a good result. And this is whether you're going to train, or whether you're going to do business, or whether you're going to manage your family. No matter what you do on the outside has to be powered from something inside you, right? Some people get all juiced up on a motivational video, and they try to do that every day to keep themselves all jacked up and ready. Some people are, vision focused. Other people are just in a routine and try to be a nice person during the day, but they believe. The belief is partially emotional. They believe in their routines, so therefore they continue to stick to them and show up. Mm-hmm. How many athletes do, because everybody thinks that athletes run on a full diet of motivation all the time, which is not the case. They run on a full diet of routines, and they believe heavily in the routines and the results they bring, therefore they do it, right? So you have to, like in that situation, for example, you believe in the routine, but when it hurts, your body's exhausted, you're taping everything to show up at training and still push, you have to manage your emotions. So this was about how, first of all, to meet your emotions, but also understanding the polarity that the emotions make. If I'm open and friendly and giving and juicy in a positive way for the people around me, they're going to be attracted to me. If I'm a negative and pulled back and inside and
always
and
testing
stingy,
relationships and choice words.
Yes, always testing the relationship and manipulating people with push-pull and all that stuff. It becomes so uncomfortable for people that they pull away. And you can often see that. People who are charismatic often have a lot of positive charge. And people who are alone in their life often are people who don't attract people because they have a complicated emotional scheme, right? The landscape is difficult. So some people do that on purpose. Some people are just introverts and they don't want people around them, so they won't be that attractive, quote unquote, emotionally. Other people just are likable and people want to be around them, right? But the same thing, that same emotional charge, has to do with the manifestation in your life, because how you do the work, how you see the work, how you feel the work will in very large part determine the results of the work. So one of my old chiropractic mentors used to say, who you are determines how well what you do works. So if you're a angry, sleazy, confused person who's stingy, even though you're making dinner for people, it may not have the same effect on the crowd than if you're like a Mother Teresa type, right? Who's, giving and generous and wonderful, it takes care of people. So even though it's the same food being served, the atmosphere, the feeling, the energy around it's different, right? So learning this is important. Now, what we covered in a small part, and this is just a tiny little picture of the process, but first comes awareness. You have to be aware of a situation before you can start to handle it. Then comes information, because you have to know something about it in order to react to it or to charge it with a positive or a negative, right? So if you don't know what it is and you just say that your anger just comes out of nowhere and disappears and then happiness, then it's usually your body going through hormonal changes, or it's because you are triggered from a trauma in your past, right? If somebody says, marshmallows and you get angry, it's because you probably have some reason.
Someone threw marshmallows at you when you were a kid.
Or something like that. Yeah, exactly. Right?
Hate s'mores.
Yeah, it's s'mores. Exactly. And imagine this, that because we come from a unified source where the energy is full, meaning that it's a total energy, it's completely connected as one unit, which means that if you're going to get an emotion and you were going to try to label that with emotion, the only emotion you could use or the description would be unconditional love, right? Because it's energetic, it's totally full, and it's completely connected, and it's a unit, so you think about love. Love is closeness. Love is connection. Love is acceptance. All of these things coming from one source. So they say unconditional love is not traditionally seen as an emotion because it's too full. It's every emotion put together all at once, right? So imagine that we're walking around in a field of love. That's what it is, but we don't perceive it that way all the time. And that's because our awareness, number one, and the information that we are able to take in from our environment. We don't see it that way. We see it as, that motherfucker cut me off in traffic. He almost killed me. Or that guy's making me late. Or this guy, I should have gotten 2 pieces of cake and not 1 piece of cake. Or, oh my God, I ate the cake, right? So who we are coming a little bit from our past experiences determines, if we're not aware, how we see the things around us. We project our emotional states, our information, and all that. So I was giggling because imagine a person living in a field of unconditional love and just fucking everything up. Excuse the language. We're going to have to put a beep on that. But,
I will not be put a beep on that.
Yeah, they spend they spend all their time creating conflicts. They feel alone and isolated in the world. They feel like nobody's taking care of them. They feel like everybody's a bother. And the way they react and relate to people manifest this situation, because if you think somebody's just trying to take something from you and you're alone in the world and they're obviously not supporting you, they're just trying to take something, are you going to invite them in or are you going to push them away? You obviously push them away. So it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And I just thought about this person who's, experienced these horrible things in their life as children, and maybe they did some self-work, but they didn't really finish the emotional part of it.
Yeah, because many think that inner work is like I've noticed, I would rather say, I've noticed that a lot of people that do inner work think it's an intellectual thing.
Yeah, I read the book.
I've
heard that before.
Yeah. But me and Steve had a big discussion about this because we about embodiment. Because she's like, I haven't liked the word embodiment, but it's kind of growing on. So I think embodiment is what it is. You have understanding and knowing is embodiment.
Yeah. We teach people to embody their best life.
So you kind of have to, it's not an intellectual thing. It also has to connect with emotions because it has to manifest in the body and out.
Exactly.
If you just do it from an intellectual point of view, it would be just an escapism from, I know what that is.
Yeah.
Then you go back to the whole mindfulness thing where you look at it, you know what it is, but you never address it.
Exactly.
It's more that, okay, that's a booby trap area for me. Let's just avoid that. And people have to be aware that that's booby trap land.
Yeah.
But if you do embodiment of the work, then you do the work to dissolve that booby trap land for yourself.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the marshmallow booby trap.
Yeah.
Say marshmallow.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the thing. I think so many think first, I was there, that you think you have to have, large trauma, like large blowing your leg off, whatever shit, for it to be a trauma. It could be a freaking marshmallow.
Yeah.
But for you, that marshmallow is the blown out flag. It's ridiculous in many ways, but I find my trauma is, the big ones are easy.
Yeah.
You know what happened.
Yeah.
You can see how it affected.
Yeah.
It's easy to fix.
Yeah.
The difficult one is that comment from the teacher.
Yeah.
It's the marshmallow being thrown at you. It's the parent-teacher conference.
Yeah.
It's so small events, and you were usually very, very young.
Yeah. Yeah.
When it happened. Very often, very young. They are super difficult to handle. So the job is kind of when you do the work, is when you identify them, you have to work with them.
Yeah.
But you have to acknowledge they're small.
Yeah.
They're usually not, in my experience, they have huge impact.
Yeah.
The sentence was one sentence, which terrifies me, because when you have children, me and Eric have said, if we get children, we're going to give them like the integrated human roadmap when we're 18, and said, you survived.
Yeah.
We did our best, but you are traumatized.
Yeah.
Somehow, you don't know it yet. We really tried, but here's the manual to fix it when you're ready, because you will have a comment about food.
Yeah.
You will have a comment about your own body. You will have a comment about that neighbor. You will have a comment about you're trying to do the best, but you say something like, it's really important to be early, because then you show respect to the people. Mm-hmm. But then you all of a sudden have this pattern in them that when someone's late, they're not showing them respect.
They don't get respect.
They don't get respect, and then they get angry when they're 30. I'm like,
so it seems like a good rule, but then suddenly that's the thing that breaks their relationships.
Right? No matter how you do this, you fuck up.
Yeah, you're gonna because it's
gonna be traumatizing no matter what.
Try to pull on one string and not pull the rest of them. You're gonna pull the rest of them, and some of them are gonna be aligned, and some of them are gonna get fucked up. Right?
So it's kind of, that's just, and you do your best, but at one point, you have fucked up, and that's the point, that the parent or teacher, or that's why Jason says mother and father and teachers and preachers, whatever with authority over you in that point, said one sentence, and that burned up.
Boom.
Then you hold that for 45 years.
Yeah, and those are the ones that in a way burn. There's a second level, and that's the ones that form the way you see things that you don't even know are there.
Exactly.
Because they're behind the camera. They're in your subconscious mind. So the way you interpret the things that are coming in, you may not necessarily feel pain or anything. You just, oh, that's what that is. Oh, they're trying to steal something. Oh, they're trying to, oh, this is the way they're manipulating me, or this is what they want, or this is what they don't want, or this is how they're going to do it. And sometimes that's based on cool, clean logic. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's as dirty as it gets because it's just your trauma putting trauma glasses on your eyes. And that's the way you're going to see everything until you've taken the trauma glasses off. But how do you know that you have the trauma glasses? You know, and that's a lot of the awareness work that we're doing with the moksha meditation, you know? So exactly. And I was just thinking, I just had this like super quick experience where imagine you are a universal being with every option. You basically are given, even if you're from a third world country, you're still given so many opportunities to express yourself as a human being and to challenge yourself both inside and on the outside. There's so much that's amazing about the world, even if it's horrific as well, but it's just a complete total experience. And to not work on yourself, to not be curious about what you can achieve and who you can be and how you can contribute to the environment. I just had this picture of a person who's traumatized as a kid, which is horrible, but then that forms the way they have all of their relationships all the way through. And then finally they get old and they die and they go to heaven, hopefully, and they meet the disappointed cat meme. Like, bro, you had all of this and you did nothing. You did nothing with it. Like, you did nothing with yourself. You did nothing with the things around you. Like, no curiosity at all, right? For why you think things are that way and why people didn't understand, you know? It's just very fascinating to see the work and then to see people wake up in the work. You know, the see people get these tools and don't stop at, oh, I recognize that information. But they're actually doing it. They're actually working with it. They're holding it with them and patterning their everyday routines so that they can continue to deepen the work in themselves. And then to get scientific evidence that that works, that it actually affects the environment. You know, people are like, oh, it's so bad. There's so many wars and so much. Then do something with it by improving yourself. Because when you show up for yourself, you change the field around you, you actually affect the world. You affect the world beyond your skin energetically.
Yeah. No, it's kind of like if you want to, like the environment for now, for instance, like we should maybe do something with it to be better, but I don't think it's the car. I can, like, I live in Boston. I don't need a car. It's just how it is. But I know also with more energy, more awareness, then you don't throw the thing away. You try to put in the right trash bin. You bring a cup to an event instead of using 15 plastic cups that weekend. You become more aware because you don't want to waste. You feel because when you do it and when you reach pure consciousness and stuff like that, you know, you see everything's connected. So the turtle out there or whatever it is just as connected as the friend next to you. So, but you have to have English words. Well, that's good.
You have to have extra energy.
Extra energy, right?
Yeah.
You have to have what's the word? It is a word in English.
Yeah. For the moment, it escapes me.
Yeah. Blame flow fog.
But you can't be exhausted.
You can't be exhausted. You can't run on low fumes. You have to have energy so that you can do that.
Surplus of energy
to do that. And I think that is the more you work on yourself, the more your like we talked about during the weekend, your window of tolerance increases. You can handle more pressure without having to go into survival mode.
Exactly.
Either very low or really high into fight, flight, or into depression. So you can stand more pressure, which means that you can make better choices over a longer period of time. Exactly. You can stand, because what often happens is that when everything's normal, you manage, but when the intensity increases, like it's a death or it's drama happening with your kids or whatever it is, then you go out of the window of tolerance. Yeah. But with more and more work that you've done on yourself, the window expands. So that's that thing. And I think we had a very interesting question, which I think also we should talk about in the next podcast, but I think it's a nice kind of teaser for the next podcast. And that was just, we was asked, so what's the point of this work? And when do you stop? And I think Jason said it really beautiful. And he said that you stop this work when you stop being curious about what life can be.
Yes.
Because it is not about doing, many come into self-work when they are feeling really shitty.
Yeah.
But when they feel good, they stop. Because how it is how it always has been, right? And you've gotten to a new level, if you can call it that. But we have people at the event that are 88. Turned and 80.
Yeah.
Right? And
that
it's
have meditated
since they were children.
Yes.
And it's so wonderful to see them. I'm really inspired with having them. Because I was talking to one of them and he was just like, that heart-brain coherence, I never thought about that. That's really how they are connected and how you actually have to feel them and not just think them. And he was really working on them. It's like, that's a totally new way of looking at it for me. I have to go deeper into that. And I just thought that's so interesting. You're 88.
Yep.
First of all, you're still learning. You're not just kind of sitting in a chair and rotting away.
Yeah.
You're still looking for more life.
Still
curious.
Yeah.
And that I'm like, you can still learn.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
Then I need to be humble enough at 35 to go, I don't know shit. And that's a good thing.
And that's a good thing. Exactly.
There's so much more.
Yes.
And I think also, like, I really liked what you said with the curiosity, because I'm like, for me, that was quite triggering in the way that when I stop being curious, then also my life gonna kind of stabilize at that level.
Exactly.
But which I see more and more is that there is no there's always a new one. So to keep pushing curiosity of life, not necessarily just chasing the new car or feeling better or whatever it is, but also just chase curiosity in this beautiful time that you have here, right? Yeah. So I just thought it's a little bit of hint for the next one. But I thought that was such a nice sentence that you said.
Thank you. Thank you. And that's it's inspired by you that's constantly doing the work. Jan is 88 and he's constantly doing the work, and people who are
he's reading the Gospels now.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a young guy.
Yeah.
And now he's reading the Gospels and got into heart-brain coherence now, because he's like never heard about it.
And he was like, I'm a little happy and a little frustrated at the same time, because I'm 88 and now there's so much amazing research coming out, like the random number generator. It's like things that are now real we thought before, but now it. And the actual anatomy and physiology of the body, and the fact that the heart actually it gives the brain more information.
It's 90% up, 10% down.
Yeah, the heart actually informs the brain, which is insane. That was never been understood before the Heart Math Institute worked on that. So times are getting more and more interesting. And imagine being on the edge of that and seeing the things that you've been working with since you were 20 and you're now 88 coming out as facts. It's amazing. Yeah. So, yeah, I loved the event, and I love the fact that nobody there is going to meet the disappointed cat meme when they go.
I don't think they will. They are. It's amazing to see people grow. It's amazing to see people being curious.
Yeah.
And it's always interesting because you see people are their boxes are opening in total different ways.
Yeah.
But absolutely perfectly correct for them.
Yeah, Totally.
So you can hear the same sentence, and that's also something to talk about later, but you can hear the same sentence and get two totally different experiences from it.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll save that for the next one.
All right. Remember, you matter. Unless you multiply yourself by the speed of light squared, then you're energy. But if you can't be energy, matter.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. We hope you felt we added something to your day and hopefully your life. If you want to learn more, subscribe to our newsletter and find us at integrated-human.com. That is integrated-human.com. Integrated Human on YouTube and other social media platforms. Have a great day and thank you again for listening. Love, light, and upgrade from us at the Integrated Human team.